to Darts Review channel, and a special hello for new visitors. I hope you click the subscribe button and become a regular viewer. Just recently I was sent some items from a fairly new company called Accurate Dart. I think they've only been in business, I don't know, it was about 3 years, maybe not more than that. I'm not really sure exactly how long, but they are quite new. And one of the things they've sent me is their new flight system, which is a stem and flight combo. This is called the AFS system, AFS Accurate Flight System. And this comprises a hybrid slim style stem, which is made from Accura aluminum, which is Accurate Dart's version of aluminium. Basically it's a high grade alloy, and it's made to be as tough as possible. And the flights are made from a special polymer, and according to the website they reckon that the flights should last 2 to 3 times longer than other brands. It says near unbreakable, but quite a lot of manufacturers have their own systems now, and people like different ones for various reasons, but obviously one of the things is durability. So if these are as durable as they say, then they could become popular. The stems are available in 4 sizes, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and they have little grooves on the top of the stem which tells you what size it is. So size 2 will have 2 grooves and so on. And the flights have a double locking mechanism, so they've got like a threaded section and then a kind of a smooth section which sits into the stem, and it has a visual stop so you know when you've secured it in, but I'll show you that in a minute, so it'll make more sense when I show you. At the moment the flights are available in standard and kite shape. There's 4 more shapes to follow, and they're in a variety of colours. You've got orange, red, pink, blue, green and black. And the flights on the website retail for $9.99, that's around about £8, and the stems retail for £18.99, that's about £15, so the two together is £23, which is quite a lot of money for a stem and a flight. The only thing is, if it's as durable as what they say, once you've bought your stems, then that will be it. I think the stems should last quite a long time because there's not really anything that can break on them, as you'll see when I show you it. So the only expense you'll have is replacing the flights. So if it's as durable as they claim, then it could be worth it, but like I say, that's going to have to be a long-term test. And as you can see, the flights come in this neat little package, and you can use the packaging as the carry case to keep the flights nice and safe. Also, the flights will be available in a soft and a hard plastic, and they're kind of flexible, so I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. So the flexibility allows them to move out of the way when they've got tight groupings, and also it's kind of like a memory plastic, so it should go back into shape. You may just need to give it a little push, a bit like the Condor flights, but I don't think I've ever got around to reviewing the Condors, but a similar idea to them. But anyway, it'll make more sense when I show you it. So let's have a close look at them. Right, so Accurate sent me 3 sets of flights, 2 in standard and 1 in the kite shape, and they've sent me 3 lots of stems, size 3, size 5 and a size 4. So as I was saying, the packaging, you can use this to keep your darts, keep your flights nice and secure. Use it as a carry case, and it's kind of a softish bendy plastic, and they've got these Accurate Dart logos on the wings, which is a kind of holographic style, very thin thread. I'll use the size 5 stem just to fit one together. Inside the box there's just a little foam insert, and then you've got the stem. It's a very nice looking stem actually. It's got a little rubber o-ring, and inside there's a very thin threaded section, and
the flight's got a smooth section there, and that is like the double locking mechanism, and then there's like a little lip, and once that lip hits the edge of the stem, you know that's in as far as it'll go. So I'll do a close-up of this in a minute, but just for the sake of this part of the review, I'll just fix it up. So that's the size 5 stem with the standard flight, and as I was saying before, it's kind of flexible. It's obviously the advantage of it being that little bit flexible is that if you got a close grouping, the flight can move out the way a little bit, less of a hindrance for the incoming darts, and obviously the flight's not going to come off. It is in solid. There's no way that'll come off unless you just try to yank it out and rip the thread, but that's not going to happen in normal throwing. And also, I can't really see how you could damage the stems. You'd have to have quite a freak accident to damage them, so once you've got your set of stems, then you should be set really, and the only thing you're going to need to replace will be flights. Alright then, here's a quick close-up, and these darts that I'm using, they're just my custom made set. Like I was saying, it's got a rubber O-ring on the stem, just so you can keep it nice and tight when you've got it into your barrel. And if you look on the top, it's got 5 grooves, which denotes the size 5 stem, and the little accurate dart logo on the bottom, and very nice shape to the stem. Goes very thin there, and it opens out a little bit. And the flights, they have a kind of a silvery holographic kind of logo. Don't know how good it comes up on the camera though, but quite stylishly made. And as you can see, very flexible, and they should bend back into position like a kind of a memory plastic. And as you can see, the wings are 90 degrees. And one thing I did notice, they do fit in quite snug when you put them in. It's quite a tight fit, and after you put them in, like this part is where it threads into the stem, but this part is actually smooth, but once I've put it in, it's almost as if the inside has created its own thread around it, and there's a little ledge there which when it hits the top of the stem, that tells you that it's as far as it'll go. And basically that's it. Yeah. So once you hit that ledge, that's as far as it'll go. But certainly a nice looking stem and flight, and as you can see, very bendy, but we'll have to see how it performs and how durable it remains. Right, just to give you a little idea comparison wise, the AFS flighting stems don't match up exactly to the ones that I've got in the nylon deflector grip with the Darts Nutz flights. That is a medium nylon stem, and that's the number 5 with the red flight, standard flight, and it's just a little bit shorter, and that's an in-between nylon stem with the number 4 stem, and I think on that one the number 4 stem and flight is just a tiny bit longer, and that's a short nylon stem with the number 3 stem and flight, and as you can see that's quite a little bit bigger, so maybe the number 2 stem would be closer to a short. Just to give you a quick idea, the nylon stem with a standard 100 micron poly flight is about 75 millimeters from the base of the stem to the top of the flight, and the number 5 stem with the flight is 72 millimeters, and the in-between nylon stem from the base to the top of the flight is 68 millimeters, and the number 4 is just a fraction under 70 millimeters, and the short nylon stem is 60 millimeters, and the number 3 stem and flight is 65.5 millimeters. So that's just to give you a rough idea, so you might have a better idea of what size stems and flights you might need. So my normal 100 micron flight with a nylon deflector grip stem weighs 2.03 grams, and the number 5 and standard flight is just a little bit heavier, 2.45, and the in-between nylon deflector grip with standard flight is 1.82, and the number 4 with standard flight is 2.34, and the short nylon stem and flight is 1.56 grams, and the number 3 stem and flight is 2.19 grams. Right, so I've been using these probably just over about 12 days. They've probably had around about 15 hours of use, maybe a little bit more. Nothing is broke. A few times I've had a heavy impact on the ground, and sometimes when I pick the flight up, pick the dart up, it's been a bit like that, and then I just pushed it back. But obviously, with it being a kind of a soft, flexible plastic, there's nothing brittle and anything that would like break easy, so that's a good thing regarding the impacts to the ground. I'll show you a close-up of them all in a minute, but there's no like major damage, there's no like rips so far. It's obviously a nick here and there, and obviously the tops are a bit rough, but you expect that. And there's a couple of marks on the stems, but what I'll do is I'll show you a close-up now. Right, so here's the first close-up, and like I say, there's a bit of a nick there. Obviously you get scratches on the wings from where the points hit it, and the tops are a bit rough, but there's no sign of anything splitting. Let's get the top in focus. It's still perfectly 90-degree angle, and the stems, obviously there's marks on the stems, kind of expect to see that, but there's nothing major wrong with that one. Let's have a look at this one, and again it's just roughness on the top, which you get with any flight, but down the bottom just little tiny rough bits here and there, but no splits so far. And for the stem, where it focuses, stem again got a couple of nicks, but there's nothing major wrong with that. Nope, just a bit of a gouge there on that part there. Obviously it must have been a more heavy impact, but it hasn't really damaged the stem. And again there's just very fine slight rough bits there, but it's mainly the top that gets the damage, but that tends to happen with me mostly anyway, because my darts usually sit up on the board and the darts come in that way. But if you're a person that has darts that lay a bit flatter, then you may get more front leading edge impact. But so far I've been quite happy with them. I'm obviously going to keep on playing with them, but they seem to be quite durable to me. The only thing that I probably would have liked is to be able to pinch up the stems a little bit closer to the stem, but it's just a bit of a nitpicking thing that. I like the fact that they're flexible and they don't like have anything that could like snap off like hard plastic, so that's good. And overall they've been performing quite well. I even hit a 180 with them, and that's a rare occasion for me. Hardly hit any these days. So I would say that they may be going to live up to their reputation of being more durable, but I think it depends how you play. If you've got very rough darts as well, you may get more damage, and obviously if you're a higher skilled player than me, you're going to get closer groupings as well. But I'm quite impressed with them. So that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching.